Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I hope you guys are doing well. What's going on with you? Before we even get into anything today, let me run my disclaimer and I'll be right back. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin Bees. I'm a certified personal trainer, a fitness nutrition specialist, and I spent 13 and a half years in multi-level marketing. And now I'm using that time, that experience to piss off MLMs and MLM reps and hopefully debunk people so that, they either get out of MLMs or they don't join in the first place. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you have your favorite beverages, your favorite snacks. We have so much to talk about. The hair is new. We went burgundy. Finally, the transition from blue to this has been wild. But yeah, anybody in a winter storm, please stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Be very careful. Stay warm. All of that good stuff. So yeah, please take care of yourselves. And thank you for the compliments. I appreciate you. Can we talk about the lip combo? Now, I do have this linked. I do earn, it is an affiliate code. I earn a little commission if you choose to click on the shop button. It's a shopping cart or something like that. I don't know. These are both, this is from MAC. It is Night Moth liner, which is phenomenal. This is like what do they do? People do. It's kind of matches my hair actually. Liner. And then there's two lip colors that I have seen all over TikTok by MAC, and it's their new Powder Kiss Hazy Matte Lipstick. There are two colors that I had to get. This is the first one. It's called Be My Bridesmaid. It does have some of the liner on it, by the way, but it is the perfect nude. Now, is this a makeup video? No. But I know some of you are going to ask, and I'm very excited about it, so I wanted to share. This is in Be My Bridesmaid, and then I also have Girls Weekend, and I love them both, and they're going to be a staple on this channel. iLook is in the video description. That is Adriana Nicole Cosmetics. Use the code Erin approved, and I use two different palettes, but a shade from each palette. So this is a two eyeshadow combo. Anyways, thank you. I've never done an ombre. I've never been a nude lip kind of gal because I've always struggled with the right kind of nude for my skin tone. And here we are. And I'm loving it. Also, I really like the formula of the lipstick. If you're somebody that doesn't like the feel of lipstick, I really like how it feels. The Powder Kiss, and that it's a hazy matte. My lips don't feel dry. It does feel powdery. I don't know how else to explain that. Anyways, that's not what we're here for, but I wanted to share with you guys. If you haven't already liked and subscribed to the channel, if you would, and let me get my notes because we have a lot to talk about. Now, if you were here a month ago, I did a live stream a month ago today, as of today, which is interesting to me. You and I did a live stream breaking down the initial expose from Cherry Nicole on Instagram and TikTok, and others that have also been speaking out since then. But we covered what was allegedly happening behind the scenes with Coffey Anderson and Criscilla, his wife that passed. Well, I don't know. Technically, they were married, but they were going through a divorce. And she passed away in December of last year to colon cancer. And it's been a lot. I'll just say that. It's been a lot. In that stream, we covered the first wave of information, the early receipts, the timeline that so many had questions about. Today is going to be an update to that stream, because there's been a lot that has happened since then. I do want to give a shout out to Heather. I don't know if she's on here, but Heather, if you're on here, thank you for sending me this video that we're going to be watching. that we're going to be starting with tonight. It is a video from 8 years ago, and I know that sounds kind of wild. Why would I be covering a video that's 8 years old? Because I think it shows a great contrast that needs to be discussed. So that's why we're doing that. In this video, Coffey is interviewing Mel Robbins at the Red Rocks Casino here in Las Vegas, which was an event. Okay, story time. Remember when I have told you guys that I've been a part of 6 MLMs over the 13 and a half years? And remember the story about me being in Modere. And I was a part of that small group of people that were terminated from Modere. I have videos on it. Check out the Modere playlist. And I was suspended. Jesse Lee was terminated. I want to say it was June of 2017, I believe. And so there was a group of us that was suspended. And while I was suspended, I believe, if my time frame may be off because it's been quite some time since then, 8 years, 9 years. Anyways, 9 years? Weird. That's crazy. But anyways, while I was still a part of Modere, we were invited to come to the event. And so I drove Jesse Lee to the event. We, quietly sat in the back. I've talked about this before, but I think it's been a while. And obviously my channel has grown, which I appreciate. Thank you guys for that. I that means a ton to me. And while I was at that event, I was like, I'm just going to quietly sit here in the back. Lisa Grossman sitting on one side. I think Jesse Lee was on the other side. I don't remember. And the next thing I know, I have Brian Underwood holding a board and a camera in my face as I'm breaking this board. Or was it the arrow? Was it a board? The arrow? I don't even remember. I was trying to be discreet at this event. And here I am in this video, like, what's happening? Anyways, I was at this event. And I have watched some of it with the members. I have watched a little bit more on my own just to kind of get some notes together. And watching it now versus how I feel like I experienced Prove It then is so wild. It hits so different, not just for me, but especially now that we know what has been talked about when it comes to Coffey, when it comes to Criscilla, the situation, that whole thing. It hits different, which is why I want to show you guys this video tonight. So we're going to watch that interview together. I'm going to talk about I'm going to give you my commentary, I guess is how I want to say that. And then we're going to go through the updates that come directly from Cherry Nicole. And I have her Instagram and her TikTok linked in the video description. So please go and check her out. She has been documenting the legal developments, the contradictions that have come out since Criscilla passed, the contrast between the public persona in the old interview that we're about to see and the receipts being shared now are going to be quite striking. So if you're wondering why I'm covering this, this is why. It's such a weird crossover. I mean, I just did the Mel Robbins deep dive on Monday, what did you guys think about that? And then I've covered Coffey Anderson and all of that. And then I am sent this video from Heather, which, by the way, I see you're on here, Heather. Thank you so much. There's this crossover, and I'm like, this is so wild. It's so wild. Thanks, Brandy. I appreciate you. So anyways, before we dive in, if you guys ever have anything that you want me to see, it could be a video, screenshots, a live stream, whatever. My website is linked in the video description, erinbees.com. You can submit through the submission form, and so that you can send things directly to me. You can also message me on Instagram if you want to, because I know some people do that. So let's get into it, shall we? Okay, let me get the right setting. I think I want to do this one. And this is from 8 years ago. And the video quality is terrible. Also, who uploaded this? Abby K. Abby K, when she was in Prove It. So thanks, Abby, for doing that. I appreciate that. Abby K. Have I done a video on Abby? I don't know that I have. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Abby. Okay. Anyways, she uploaded this on YouTube. It's a public video. The sound is not great and the video quality is 360p. So we're going to roll with it because you can hear it decently. So
Thank you.
Hello, Facebook Live. Welcome back to Live Backstage. We are with Prove It. We are in Las Vegas, Nevada right now at Red Rocks, and I am Coffey Anderson, and I have such the honor of interviewing Mel Robbins for this.
Aww.
You did so good. You just got off the stage at More. It was crazy.
It was probably the most electric experience I have ever had in the history of my career.
And they love you.
Oh, well,
and you're good at what you do.
Well, I know that that what I'm talking about actually.
I want to talk about this, but I'm still collecting information. So pause. Keisha, where you at, girl?
Works and it changes you. And so I communicate that with such a level of intentionality because I want everybody that learns about the 5-second rule to understand how imperative it is that you try this, that there really is just a gap that is that small between all your dreams and the doubts killing it.
I love it. I love it. Now, for country.
Oh God, here we go with the country folks. I forgot. I missed this. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Monica, for the gifted memberships. 5 gifted memberships. That's amazing. And if you've been thinking about becoming a member, just know that tonight and on most of my live streams, not all, we typically do a members only after party. It's a little bit less filtered. We decompress, we chat. Last week, we ended up talking about nutrition and training. And it was a really cool conversation. So if you want a little bit more of an intimate group, you want to chat a little bit more, become a member if you would like to. No pressure. I know not everybody's in a place where they can afford that. Make sure you have gifted memberships turned on so you can receive if somebody gifts memberships, which is amazing. And I feel like we need the Dr. Pepper song, right? I feel like, or do we want, let's do Careless Whisper. That came on when I was at the gym the other day and it made me giggle. Made me think of you guys. She's not married to Tony Robbins. I don't think they're related, by the way. Tony Robbins will always be banana hands to me because of the Jack Black movie. They called him that. That's funny. Become a member. It's great. Thank you so much, Nicole. I appreciate you. Yeah, members get early release. They get members only live streams. First look at like shorts and different things like that. Members only after parties. You know, y'all know I'm right. Appreciate you, Brandy. So yeah, it's a good time.
Folks, the 5-second rule is not when you drop your piece of Popeyes and you got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blow it. Jesus didn't bless this. That ain't what we're talking about. Okay, give me a quick 5-second an example.
Sure.
An idea of the 5-second rule.
Yeah, you're sitting in a meeting and you got something to say and you stop and you think. And within 5 seconds, you've talked yourself out of talking. That's one. You see somebody that's good looking.
Just watch his body language. Now, I'm no body language expert, but I know when there's a shift, just like many of you. Watch this part.
And you're attracted to them. And within 5 seconds, you don't start walking toward them. You talk yourself out of it. You are committed to losing some weight and you see a croissant and you know you should not eat it because you've already had your healthy breakfast from Prove It, right?
Exactly.
Where you've had your.
What do you mean healthy breakfast from Prove It? Mel, do you not have any idea what Prove It is? Kind of like you have no idea or you shouldn't be giving advice on protein or nutrition as a whole. And if you're like, what is she talking about? See my deep dive from Monday. What do you mean your nutritious breakfast from Prove It? 1, Prove It never provided food. What are you talking about? Nobody ate at the events. Everybody just drank a bunch of ketones and then pooped their brains out because they drank so many ketones. And some of you, that drink almost came out of your nose just now. I know it. They didn't provide food. Everybody drank a bunch of ketones, you know, and then you ate in the evening. It was wild. This statement that she just made, and maybe I'm looking too much into this. That's okay. That's all right. It feels to me like she has no idea what Prove It is, because Prove It are ketones. They're a powder that you mix up, people drink, although I don't suggest it. And she's like, oh, the nutritious breakfast provided by Prove It. What do you mean? Keep in mind, this was 8 years ago. So we're talking 2017, 2018-ish.
Your drink, and within 5 seconds, you got to move away from it, or else all that's going to come in and you're going to grab it out of emotion.
It's amazing how many decisions and how many chances have been missed in 5 seconds.
And
Oh, that statement aged like milk on a hot day in Las Vegas when it's 118 on the pavement, my guy. Mr. Allegedly 28 mistresses. How many 5-second missed opportunities has he had? Not enough. Not enough, in my opinion.
and how many breakthroughs and life-changing moments you've had
In 5 seconds.
So if you think
Wow.
about all of those moments where your life changed,
I love the story you gave about the Frappuccino.
yes, that the Frappuccino was a 5-second decision. There was a manager who noticed that there was always a drop in business whenever it was warm outside, but they didn't have a frozen drink back in 1992.
Yeah.
And so he made this on instinct decision to go
Was
with
blended.
a blender. He knew that the rules were against having blenders. He brought one in. He started experimenting. He then made a 5-second decision to tell somebody in management. They loved it. Next thing you know, the Frappuccinos rolled out a year later.
Wow.
Yeah.
They always use these off the wall examples as, listen, this 5-second decision could lead to you starting Amazon. You know, yeah, that's how I feel about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know how much money I've given to them because of this 5-second decision?
Well, I try not to
It's
do
kept
the
my marriage
Frappuccinos.
rolling.
What do you say? What? Kept your marriage rolling, huh? Really? Wow. Oh, man. I mean, the court filings say otherwise. The alleged 28 other women says otherwise. Nikki, Criscilla's ex-best friend, and her involvement for 4 years says otherwise. The contradictions. Wow. Also, Criscilla's own will says otherwise. We'll get to all of that shortly.
But it's been a lot of money.
Yes.
Isn't that funny?
Yes.
Okay, so why prove it? Why would you take your time out of your busy schedule to come and speak to the provers and it just...
Because she was paid to do it? What? What do you mean? Now, Mel, why would you take time out of your day to come and speak to a bunch of promoters in a multi-level marketing company? Because she was probably paid to do it, like any other speaker at these Prove It events. What kind of a question is that?
Well, because there's something more going on here than
Absolutely.
just selling product.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't want to trash anybody, but I've done a
Okay.
tremendous number of speeches across a very vast body of audiences, industries, companies, brands, and there are very few that are as committed to the people and their development,
Absolutely.
not just the churning of product and selling.
And leaving carnage of people that have joined the company and then left.
Yes.
Speaking of leaving carnage, Coffey, if I may. What is happening? I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not. You mean to tell me that you think Prove It, maybe it was just at this time, you think Prove It was about the people? That they cared about the people? After what we know in 2026? Prove It doesn't care about the people. After what we know about Brian Underwood and the Herbalife buyout and all of that, by the way, check out my Prove It playlist if you're new here and you're like, what? It's all there. Prove It doesn't care about the people. They want you to think that they do. But in my opinion, multi-level marketing companies only care if those people are ordering products. Yeah. Wow.
I've seen companies just leave so much carnage after it's over, but they're getting their checks, they're moving on, the name is getting bigger, and they couldn't care less.
Right.
It's actually the
God, that feels like him telling on himself. Except I don't think his checks are getting bigger because some of his appearances are getting canceled, as they should.
opposite here, which, I mean, there's no reason for people to sit in a room for 8 hours and take notes and they don't move.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not just sitting, because it's a whole lot of dancing.
It's actually, but there's also a lot, but because all the content isn't just about the product, it's actually about how are you as a human being going to be better. And so, I don't know, there's just, you can just tell. I mean, you can tell when you interact with as many brands as I do, who really cares about people and who looks at people as part of a data spreadsheet. And so I think even
Mel, you and I both know that you are looking at your audience on your social media platform through a data spreadsheet. And that's why this is going to be, if you haven't watched the Mel Robbins deep dive, here's a little spoiler, okay? The old formula of Genius Shot didn't have collagen. The new formula of Genius Shot has collagen, knowing that collagen is marketed to women, mostly, not always, but mostly, and knowing that the majority of her demographics for her podcast, her socials, and her website are mostly women, why do y'all think that they added the collagen?
more and more, that's a piece of actually advice for those of you that are building a business.
I was.
And that is that in today's world, we can tell if you care about us or not.
Absolutely.
And, you know,
People know.
Yeah, and in a direct one-to-one selling situation, people really know. And that's why you can't take the no's personally, because it's really not about you. It's about you caring for other people.
It is so weird. Listen, I know I'm pausing it a lot. I have a lot to say. It's just how it is. Listening to her give this advice, knowing that she is probably tweaking what she always talks about and catering it to Prove It, is so odd. Because what kind of how do I want to word this? She is taking the situation of a promoter or somebody in an MLM receiving a no from somebody when it comes to being pitched the product, the opportunity, whatever opportunity. But she's not going to have that same kind of thing, because she's not messaging random people on the internet to attempt to recruit them. And it's just, I know I'm wording that kind of weird. It's just really interesting to me hearing all of this.
Okay. So right now, Facebook Live, click share, because we want your warm market. We want your circle of influence to
We want your warm market. You don't normally say that. You would say something like, we want your friends to see it. We want your family members to see it and see what we're about. Your warm market? That's like saying, what kind of an example? Give me an example in the comments, you guys. But that's like saying something like, this is my marketing tactic, and telling them the marketing tactic to the person that you're trying to rope into whatever. What do you mean? We want your warm market, your circle of influence. Okay. All right.
understand and listen to all these amazing gold nuggets. She's just dropping just dropping everywhere. I'm standing in this pit of gold right now. She's giving you so much.
Well, let me tell you the 5-second
knowledge.
rule. The moment you hesitate, count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then move. And the counting backwards is really important, because it's actually a mind trick backed by science that shifts the part of the brain that stops you and awakens the part of the brain that will give you courage. And
I would love to know what she means by backed by science, because it's giving when a supplement says they're scientifically backed? Show me the Carfax, Mel. And maybe that's a thing, but this is just so odd to me. And you know what I discovered after, and I wish I would have put this in the deep dive? She used to be a public defender. So she was a public defender turned motivational speaker who now is making a supplement, allegedly. I think she's just the face of the brand now, and they wanted to capitalize on her mostly women audience. That's just my opinion, though. But yikes. Yikes. Yeah, just like the pink packaging. Yes, 100%. Oh, thank you. I don't know how to say that. Pike? Is that right? Tell me if that's right. And if not, I apologize. But member for 23 months, thank you so much. And thank you for this compliment. I appreciate you. And don't forget, guys, we're going to have a members only after party after this if you would like to join. Would love that. Yeah. Also, citation needed. Mel? Yeah. Oh, yikes. She left being a public defender. Yeah. Yeah.
Will help you learn new
So
skills.
what do you do? You stop? Count backwards?
Yeah, well, no, you've already stopped because you're catching yourself hesitating. You see somebody that you want to talk to about prove it, and you stop and you think. Now you're hesitating. Now you're shrinking. Now you're pulling away. The doubt is charging in like a stampede of wild horses. You got 5 seconds to move. You don't freaking move in that window, the self-doubt will trample you. So you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and what happens is by counting backwards, it requires focus. This part of the brain awakens, and all those wild horses of self-doubt, they go in a different direction. You have just taken control of that window, and this is why I say your life happens in 5-second moments. For those of you that made a decision to get married, you thought about it for a long time, and
now that I don't know. I'm not sure, but that would be quite interesting.
it was a decision that happened in 5 seconds that changed the course of your life. Some of us have seen people across the room, made a decision to go talk to them. That was a decision that changed the course of your life because you either learned about the Prove It business or you met the person of your dreams. Like there are decisions that you...
Now, I think that he was taking that advice before hearing it here. Meaning, do you think he was, approaching people, women, back then? I guess what I'm trying to say is, where do you think this alleged behavior started with him? Because I don't know. I don't know.
You have made in your life where you suspended self-doubt for just an instant.
Every time I hear some of the names like Keisha O'Neill, I think of that song that I ended the last live stream on the first updates, the first round of information, if you will. I think of that song that Criscilla wrote, where the song is just the names of the alleged women that he had affairs with. Yeah. I know I can't be the only one.
And you trusted yourself. And that makes all the difference in the world, in particular, the small ones.
Wow. Wow. And listen to this. The book is even better. Like this is the book in jeans, okay? We talking about the hardback, paperback. Get it? Some of y'all don't even read. I know you. You don't read nothing because you're lazy or because you're busy.
Get the audio
Anyway,
book.
there's an audio book, people.
Yes.
Hey. Dude,
you know what? It's the most successful self-published audiobook in the history of audiobooks.
Are you joking me?
In a matter of 7 months, yeah.
Are you serious?
7,000 5-star reviews in 6 months.
She might know what she's talking about. Okay, listen.
She doesn't. She doesn't. And she doesn't have the credentials to talk about it either.
Really quick, can we talking about like that? That's a whole word where I'm from. She knows what she's talking about. Okay. Leave a question. Can we get a question? Give me a question. Stacey, do something with yourself. Hand me that.
Oh, listen.
Just stop being pretty. Stacey got some white teeth. You hear me? That ain't a camera trick.
Oh.
Do you have any questions? What do you work?
Is that a part of his, like, I was going to say pitch. Is that him throwing the fishing line out? I don't know who Stacey is. Stacy, if you're here, you see this or whatever. I just have questions. Was that like, hey, let's see. You know what I mean?
Working on.
Oh, new album. Finishing a new
Awesome.
album up right now.
So what's it like,
And-
though, the hesitation with songwriting?
I don't hesitate. I trust
That's
my
why
gift.
you're as successful as you
I trust
are.
my gift. Absolutely. All right.
Oh my God, the arrogance. Oh,
Let's see.
I don't know if the genes.
The book is so good.
Yes. All right, let's see.
Okay,
We have any-
Stout.
Oh, here we go. We got people asking. How did you come up with the 5-second rule? I saw a rocket ship launching on a commercial, and I thought that's the secret. I got to launch myself out of bed. I had a problem, Angela, of hitting the snooze button. I had developed a habit because I was going through a really rough time in our
Say that
marriage.
again. You had a habit of what?
Hitting the snooze button.
You had a habit of what?
Hitting the snooze button.
Keep going.
Hitting the snooze button.
Message.
And so I was
if you want to hit the snooze button, hit the snooze button.
literally starting my day by hitting the snooze button 4 or 5 times.
Wow.
And so by the time I woke up, I already was full of doubt, already beating myself up, already behind the ball, already feeling like the world's worst mom. And the rest of the day was spent trying to climb
catching
out.
up.
And I would never climb out. I would just start drinking. And so I decided I needed to start getting up on time. And so I developed this little strategy of acting like a rocket ship, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it broke the habit immediately. And then I thought, holy cow.
Something so simple.
Yeah.
It's going to change so many other people's lives.
No, I didn't have that thought then. I thought, no, I did not. I literally thought, how would it work anywhere else? And it turns out it does. You can use it to lower how annoyed you get with your spouse or your kids. You can use it to force yourself to speak up in meetings. You can use it to force yourself to sell. Basically to push yourself through all the uncomfortable moments throughout your day.
This little rocket launcher.
Well, she did say she saw a commercial or something with a rocket ship. Yep. I don't know. Maybe she did. Maybe she did. Sam, member for 24 months and another one bites the dust. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, little rocket launches all day long, little 5-second rocket launches.
Very cool.
And I used it secretly for 3 to 4 years. My husband and I did, and our whole lives started to change because of these 5-second rocket launches. I love that.
Yeah.
And I told somebody once, and they taped it and put it online, and it went viral. And obviously, this is God telling me this is what I'm supposed to do, because I never intended to do this.
No,
Right.
trust me, I get it. I started out singing on YouTube.
Really?
Because record labels were like, we don't get it.
Yeah.
And then it just exploded. And then the people decided. And
Yes.
People know what they love. They know what they can get behind. They know what they can trust.
Yes.
They sure do, Coffey, don't they? Yeah. It took him quite some time to turn his comments off on all of his socials, which I thought was hilarious. In a situation that is dark and twisted, in my opinion, the fact that people were commenting and telling them how they felt about the scenario, I thought it was fantastic. So it took him a long time to turn those off, though. But I should have screenshotted some of them, because some of them I was like, oh.
But they're not going to find you unless you rocket launch 5-second decisions all day long. And so the decision to go on YouTube, that's a 5-second decision. The decision to do it again, that's a 5-second decision. The decision to do it again, that's a 5-second decision.
I don't think so. Let's use the YouTube example for a second. It's going to take you more than 5 seconds to figure out what you want to cover, how you want to cover it. Do you want to live stream? Do you want to do edited videos? You want to just do shorts? Do you want to do YouTube shopping? What is it that you're wanting to do? That takes a lot more time and research, I might add, than it's going to take more than 5 seconds. Maybe you decide, I guess, yeah, I'm going to do a YouTube channel, but it takes a lot of time, energy, effort, and research to figure out how you're going to go about doing it. So weird. Lushy. Hi. Member for 45 months. That's crazy. What kind of rabbit hole did this end up being? It really did end up being quite the rabbit hole. Mel Robbins, Coffey Anderson, and Prove It. How do we get here? Also 45. That's amazing. Also, hello. I hope Bailey's doing well, by the way. DC, thank you so much. It was a 5-second decision to not cheat on your wife. allegedly, and in our opinion. Thank you for that, DC. I appreciate you. I feel like I need like a fun sound effect. I don't know. I feel like the moment passed now. We'll keep it going. But DC, thank you. I appreciate you. By the way, DC made the thumbnail. She's doing shorts. And if you would like her to do that for your channel or your socials, hit her up. I have her tagged in the video description. Of course, she's here in the chat as well. So make sure that you hire her to do really creative work. She made the thumbnail and all that good stuff. So yeah, thank you, DC. I appreciate you. The gang is all here. I know. 39 months, Kate. There's a lot of faces today that I have not seen in quite some time. So I'm glad that you guys are here. The gang is all here. I can't decide what to order in a drive-thru in 5 seconds. Fair. Absolutely fair. Oh, we need to get you a womp womp soundbite. That's a good idea. Yeah, the fire was amazing. Sorry, I prefer pants. Oh, you mean social media shorts. Cal.
Questions, stop leaving comments. I love the comments though. One more question, yes.
Oh, God.
What 5-second decision has impacted your life the most?
How
Oh, that's
exciting.
getting out of bed that first morning. The decision
Can we call in Savannah? Savannah, where are you at?
to try to use it
To get up.
the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one for sure, because it set this whole chain of events forward that I never in a million years expected would happen. Oh,
What?
Even just the application. Just the
Yeah.
application to say, I'm just gonna do it.
yeah. I mean, because I was circling in self-doubt. And
Let me just say the amount of time and energy that DC has saved me making thumbnails and shorts. And she does on my deep dive, on my last 2 deep dives, she's done the chapter markers, which have been phenomenal. In addition to Ava editing my videos, there is no way that I would be able to put out 3 videos, well, two edited videos and a live stream a week. There's no way without these individuals, without Ava and without DC. So if you're looking for a video editor, if you're looking for somebody to make thumbnails or reels or shorts or whatever, hit her up because it's been amazing. And DC and I have worked long enough together that I can describe something and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. She's like, no, I know exactly what you mean. And then all of a sudden it becomes this thing that's 5 times better than what I imagined in my mind. So I really appreciate that a lot. Queen Kale 2020, what's up? Remember for 30 months, my 2025 YouTube year in review was like, your top creator, Aaron, your top channel, Aaron, and so on. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. Thank you for being here. Yeah, give DC some hype in the chat. And also Ava. I know Ava's not here, but yeah, give them some hype because they're amazing.
And so the fact that in that moment, I stopped doing what I had been doing for a while.
So self-doubt, did it come from how you felt about yourself? Did it come from things in the past?
Everything.
All of it
Self-doubt's a habit. So self-doubt, when you think about
Are we getting into like psychology territory, therapy territory here with this self-doubt conversation? Because I don't know, it seems odd to me. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
about self-doubt, most of us start to think
Self-doubt is a habit. Say that one more time.
self-doubt
please.
is a habit. You
Yeah.
don't doubt yourself, you have a habit of doubting yourself.
Absolutely.
And you can break any habit. And so when you start to separate the behaviors that you don't like from your identity, you have the ability to change them. And so
Yes. And I tag Ava in my edited videos in the video description, every single video. So yes, that is Ava. Go support her channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Heather. Write this down.
when you realize that self-doubt is also an action, you see, here's the other thing is we make the mistake of thinking that self-doubt is a feeling and that it's something that you're always going to feel. No. When you feel certain things, whether it's overwhelmed or it is uncertainty or you're scared about something, what happens is you take actions triggered by those feelings.
Absolutely.
So you hesitate, that's an action. You hide, that's an action. You start to become hypercritical of yourself and talk to yourself negatively. That is an action. Acting helpless, that's an action. So when you also start to think about self-doubt are all tiny decisions that you make not to move forward, tiny decisions that you make not to go through your comfort zone, tiny decisions not to try, you can also then counteract it by taking decisions to try, taking decisions to move forward.
Love it.
It becomes less
So
about
much,
your
so
identity
rich.
and so much more about the little things you're doing that are triggered by self-doubt. And if you just reverse those, you now start to eradicate self-doubt and its hold on you. So that one decision to just, fuck it, excuse me, but to say, get up and hit, like try something different. It just set into motion this chain reaction, because here's the other thing. I think we think about who we want to become.
Absolutely.
But the power is in seeing yourself acting like the person you want to become. Because then you have proof. You know, what I saw in my life for a very long time was a lot of proof that I was not a good person, that I had a lot of problems. I was mounting up evidence. And, you know, I drink too much, I'm gossipy, I'm jealous, I'm not successful, you know, in my career, I'm a bad mom, like you.
She's a grifter, in my opinion. I was gonna say I'm a grifter, but I don't want it to be like, I'm a grifter. No, she is a grifter, in my opinion. Yikes.
You start to see yourself doing all these actions that make you feel a certain way about yourself. What's amazingly powerful is that you can reverse all that by simply taking actions, even though you don't feel like it, that prove to you that you're the kind of person actually that does get up on time. You're the kind of person that even though you feel afraid, you say something. You're the kind of person
That is a great mom.
that if
That's a
you're,
great friend.
that even though you're scared about your future, you still are the kind of mom that talks in a way that's respectful to your kids, that you're the kind of person. And then when you have the evidence, because you are taking these tiny little 5-second rocket launches, a tidal wave shifts everything. And suddenly you wake up and you are it.
Okay, question for you guys. What do you think Coffey says to himself when he looks in the mirror? He gets up in the morning, has his coffee or whatever, his frappuccino, as he was talking about earlier. You know, wakes up, looks in the mirror, and what do y'all think he says to himself? Do you think he says, you're a good looking dude, you're a good guy, you're a good dad? And I don't know, maybe he is a good dad. I'm not sure. I'm not going to speak on that. We just know what the court documents and what the screenshots and all of that stuff show. But I'm just curious, what do you guys think he says when he looks in the mirror? I'm all that in a bag of chips. That's a good looking scammer. You handsome devil. Yeah, definitely flirting with himself in the mirror. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. What's the official count on 5-second rocket launch? I'm not sure. I'm good enough and I'm strong enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. Yeah. Yeah. I just wonder, after all has been said and done and everything that has come out, how he could possibly look in the mirror and think, I'm a good human. And that's just my opinion. What is that?
An empty Amazon package that
Oh.
was in front of our house.
Oh, that might be from Gavin's Sweats. Oh, it's empty?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just put that on the table because it's got Dad's name on it. Weird. Okay, bye. Did you check the rice?
No, I had to go pick up Gavin.
Thank you for picking up Gavin. Okay, back to it.
Wow.
But don't wait to feel like it. Like the other thing that's huge in my message is all these feelings that we all feel are normal. So feeling nervous is really normal.
Absolutely.
Letting it stop you is a choice.
Okay.
Feeling doubt is normal. Letting it stop you is a choice.
Wow.
Feeling tired is normal. Letting it stop you is
Oh my God, the event is going on somewhere around them, and you can hear them getting the crowd hyped up in the background. That's wild.
The choice.
Yeah.
And when you start to understand that you have 100% power over every choice you make, and you can feel whatever is riveting through your body and know that it's normal, but you can still make a separate choice. It's like exercise.
Yeah.
I never feel motivated to exercise. I choose to do it.
Yeah. I have friends of mine. I have a big patriot.
The interview is going on, and you can hear all the crowd cheering in the background. Oh my God. And this was a pretty decent sized crowd, if I remember correctly.
Following. A lot of veterans follow my
Yeah,
music and stuff
awesome.
like that. And I've
If you're a veteran and you follow his music, you should not. Coming from a veteran. Okay.
talked with guys that are heroes. I mean, Purple Heart, the whole nine. And one of the guys was like, man, I was so scared. And people were like, you're so courageous. He's like, I was terrified. I was trying to live. I was trying to save my friends. And so one of the stories, one of the guys was driving. One of his fellow soldiers got hit. Fellow Marines, not soldiers. Fellow Marines got hit. He's driving, holding him, puts his finger in his jugular. He's like, oh my gosh, that works. He's not bleeding. He's talking to me, driving, pulling people here, and hands a rifle to another guy and says, shoot, and gets them out.
Wow.
And he was like, the whole time, I was freaked out. He said,
Right.
I didn't sleep for 2 days. You know, and his eyes started drying out. It was so many hallucinations and stuff like that. But
Why is he bringing up this story? Because my opinion on this is he is bringing this story up in a way to pat himself on the back, in a way. Does that make sense? I know I'm wording that weird. Because he's talking about his music and, you know, it's almost like he's trying to, I don't want to say he's trying to compare himself to that veteran. I don't know. I'm having a hard time explaining this. Let me think about it. Let me think about this for a second. Yeah, because the story, I don't feel like it fits into what they're talking about here. You know, I don't know.
he had to push through. And that's what courage is. People always see courage on the other side.
Right,
But,
right.
But even though it was that traumatic, and for some people, it may not be a life or death situation.
For most of us,
but-
it's not.
But getting up in front of a crowd is terrifying.
For some people.
Stepping out of your comfort zone is terrifying.
For me, in my life, guys, it was terrifying to get out of bed in the morning because there were so many problems that had racked up and they felt so big.
It is so weird to me, this example. He's just given this story about a war hero or a combat veteran, I should say. And then she's like, for me, it was hard to get out of bed. Those two are not the same things.
That I did not feel capable of both facing them or solving them. And so it was easier to hide, to hit the snooze. And so understand that courage is something that you need every single day. There are conversations that, you know, I need to have in my family because there's some stuff going on my husband's side of the family that there are conversations that I need to have that are going to be uncomfortable. That's all courage is. Courage is the ability to act even though you're nervous or even though you're afraid. That's it.
Yeah.
I say
awesome.
that's it. It's actually, it feels difficult, but action will disappear all the fear.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're amazing.
You're amazing.
Okay, one more question. What else we got? Are you done? Are you tired?
No.
She said, yes, this is on point.
Well, even if I am tired, I'll keep going because I can choose.
You're getting a lot of people asking if you're going to be at the next event.
Well, I'm not
Oh.
going to be in Dubai, but we're going to work on Australia.
Big question.
Yes.
How do I be bold without being brash?
There's
I-
a difference between content and tone. There's a big difference between content and tone. And so you should also, there's two things about your question that I want to address. So if you're concerned about being brash, that means that part of your brain is focused on what other people think. So that's one piece that you have to go to war on, is really when you start to think and get worried about how other people perceive you, you need to catch those thoughts and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bring like your commitment to why you're doing what you're doing to the forefront. The second thing is, so that's the one piece of this. The second thing is that I can come off as very brash. I'm trained as a lawyer. I'm super passionate about what I talk about.
Absolutely.
You know, I've been on CNN for 4 years, and so there can be an edge to it that crosses into the wrong side, being brash versus being like super passionate. And so
A lawyer on CNN for 4 years, a motivational speaker who's now selling protein shots. When I say shots, I mean like small, like think of 5-hour energy shots, not like injectable shots, just for clarity's sake. Okay.
purposefully manage that in lots of ways. I get emotional, I'm self-deprecating, I don't dress in a way, I dress in a way that's very professional, that's very...
I feel like I'm done with these two. Are y'all done with these two? Because if so, we can have a little break. What do y'all think? Yeah, Coffey taking his advice to start cheating. Yep. I mean, yeah, lawyer. No nutrition training. Okay. All right, done with them. Good. I think I feel like we saw what we needed to see here, you know? But in the meantime, let's pour a crispy Dr. Pepper. Guys, look what I found. Now, is it strawberries and cream? No, but it is cream soda. I do have a glass with ice. We are going to do a crispy pour. So let's get into it. I mean, it was okay. It's all right. But the pour, I'm actually going to take my straw out. Sorry if that was loud. I mean, let me move this away from the mic because I can't stand that sound on a mic. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. All right. So now that we have seen, 8 years ago, the crossover, Coffey Anderson, Mel Robbins, check out my deep dive for Monday if you haven't already. Let's talk about the updates. I feel like what Coffey was presenting here was the version that I should fix this here. Okay, sorry about that. I feel like that he's good at presenting the image that he wants people to believe is him. I think that, in my opinion, he hides behind the faith-heavy phrasing, the country. I don't know what I want to call that. But I think this is the version that he, in my opinion, or an example of, that he wanted the world to believe. And then we get into some receipts here, as we did last time. Because this was Coffey 8 years ago. The persona, the performance, the image. And now we're going to look at Cherry Nicole's updates that completely change. And I believe it will change how this last video feels to many of you. This is where timelines collide. This is where, again, the receipts. So let's just get into it. Now, warning. I did some audio editing. Now, am I good at audio editing? Nope. But I tried to increase the volume. So bear with me. Okay? Bear with me. If I need to back up from my mic, let me know. If I need to turn her down, let me know. We're going to do a quick little test to see if it's too loud. Okay, here we go. Brace yourselves just in case.
I went ahead and just did some of the...
That's the wrong setting. How's the sound on your end? Is it too loud? Do I need to turn her down? Help me out. Yeah, the good, charming country boy. Thank you. Thank you. Also, thanks. I appreciate that so much. Let me know how the sound is. I think I did okay, but
The digging, everything is, like I said, on the Denton County, Texas website, but some of y'all were having a hard time finding it. So I'm going to pin the link for y'all, and then also got some screenshots and paid for the transcripts so that you don't have to. So let's get into it. Okay, so the court date is actually going to be on January 9th, one day before Criscilla's memorial. So not only is Lindsay planning this memorial and everything that's intertwined with that, but she's also getting sued and has to go to court the day before.
And Lindsay is Criscilla's best friend and photographer, and she is the one that was planning everything. And from what Cherry Nicole, that's her handle on social media, what she has mentioned is that Lindsay was the power of attorney for medical. The phrase is eluding me, but yeah. So
Okay, so
wouldn't that be Coffey? No?
in the transcripts, Coffey is saying that him and Criscilla were only separated from May to September of 2025 and that they reconciled before she passed. So in total, that's 4 months. So all the women that we know about, which is up to 28 at this point, all happened within these 4 months, but y'all were separated? Not to mention that that's even impossible because Nikki had been with him for 4 years. So 4 months does not check out.
And who is Nikki? Nikki is the ex-best friend. Mm-hmm.
Criscilla would never get back with him. And we have all of those screenshots and proof of all of that, claiming that that is not what her goal was. He's saying that they were together during her dying days, which is kind of true because she did, for the kid's sake, let the last 3 weeks of her life, have him there, but for the sake of the kids only. He's also claiming that she was not of sound mind in November when she signed her will, but she would have been sound enough to change the divorce to be sealed. Doesn't really add up. And that's because he sealed them without her knowledge. So
Now, there was an attempt to get those documents, and none of the documents are showing. So that, to me, explains why I couldn't get them, because the documents were sealed quietly. Now, maybe it was done by Coffey. Maybe him and Criscilla talked about it before she passed. I don't know. Very interesting. Why would he want the documents sealed? If you have nothing to hide and she's passed away, why would you seal the documents? Unless you're trying to hide something. That's just my opinion. I don't know.
they were still together. Why wouldn't he have been?
Is it a bit loud? She's a bit louder. Let me turn it down. Okay, let me know. Oh, she's louder. Good. Last time she was super quiet. So progress. Let me know how this is.
In the medical power of attorney and not Lindsay. Think about that. If you had made up your mind.
And if you don't know who this is Cherry Nicole on social media. And she is one of the mistresses of Coffey Anderson. When she found out about being a mistress, she immediately reached out to Criscilla. Her and Criscilla developed a friendship, and she helped Criscilla while she was alive. And Criscilla is Coffey Anderson's, I want to say ex-wife. I don't know how I want to word that. Who passed away from colon cancer in December of last year. So she is somebody, she's the whistleblower. Yeah.
Y'all had reconciled. Wouldn't you want your loving husband to have had that role? But he didn't. She didn't make that choice. She made it to Lindsay. And I will tell you why she did that, because she literally thought he would kill her. She did not trust him making those decisions. This man would literally bring their kids up to see her and make her so uncomfortable that her own pastor would ask him to leave the room. He wasn't even allowed in the room.
Oh my
Everyone
God.
in Criscilla's close circle that knows the situation, her mom, her friends, knows this man is a fraud.
Imagine that. Your spouse comes to visit you because you're in the hospital, and they make you so uncomfortable that your pastor has to ask them to leave and not come around. That really sounds like somebody that was working it out and reconciling in the last few months, right?
Also, according to the transcripts, Coffey is claiming that Lindsay stole the ashes and that the kids cannot mourn the loss of their mother without.
Yeah, we know the only people that steals ashes are Courtney, allegedly. Courtney Shepherd, right? I had to throw that in there. I just had to.
Them. The truth of this being that in her will, she had actually said she wanted the ashes to go to Lindsay to make necklaces for the kids, and then for the rest to go to her mom.
I could still be a bit louder. I can't adjust my volume, but I can move my mic closer. So let me know if that helps.
Another thing that he is fighting is at the service, he does not want it to be live streamed, which in her will, she specifically.
Why would he not want her memorial service live streamed for the people that can't attend? That doesn't make any sense to me. That just seems like it's about control, which is so odd. Your wife, you don't want her service to be live streamed? There are so many things in this story that really stand out to me that's like, hey, that's weird. Why would he do that? Why would he do that? This is one of those things for me.
Specifically request that is live streamed. A lot of y'all may not even know this, but her Nana has ALS and is bedridden. So Criscilla wanted it to be live streamed for her family that couldn't make it and friends that she had all over the world that wouldn't be able to be there. Coffey is asking for Criscilla's laptop and her phone, even though in her will, it's also stated to go to Lindsay.
Why would he want that? Because I don't think it has anything to do with the memories of being amongst her things. I just don't think that's the case. I think he wants to be in control of all the evidence on that phone, all the conversations, all the screenshots, all the screen recordings. I think that's what he wants. Wild.
Is trying to control his image and have every conversation that Criscilla's ever had. And it has her music, her words of her truth and her story. He wants the rights to. According to her will, her request was him not to speak or sing and just to be there for the kids if he comes to the memorial. I could truly go on, but basically she was in sound mind when she did what she did. He just hates that she was too smart and thought of everything that he would try to do in that circumstance. Thank goodness Criscilla was very verbal with all of her wishes. Her mom, her sister, even her son knew a lot of what was going on. And then the countless followers that she had personal messages with, everybody knows the truth of what she wanted. So I don't know what's going to happen Friday. Stay tuned, but this is definitely a whole new low even for him. And if you're able to make it, I hope that you go to her service on Saturday. I hope it's just absolutely flooded with people that love her. And I do hope that he allows the kids to go and be there for their mom's service. And
I don't know if he didn't allow the kids to go, but I do know that the kids were not in attendance to their own mother's memorial, which I think is disgusting.
That he just stopped spinning the story. Okay, I'm going to end this video with some of the screenshots.
Okay, let's pull. Oh, this is just the, is this the divorce paperwork? Hold piece. Oops, that's the wrong one. Sorry, guys. Oh, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. That's pretty small for me to read, but that's okay. Let's keep going. That's just the court, the legal information.
Okay, y'all.
This is the court update.
You've been wanting a court update, and I have one for you. So court was scheduled for 9:30 today, and what I hadn't told y'all is that I was testifying. I was not testifying alone. There were going to be 6 others, including her mother. In addition, we had over 20 people with affidavits that were going to be there as well. We had neighbors, Criscilla's doctors, and multiple first-hand witnesses. We even had 2 husbands of women that she had been close with for years that was prepared to speak as well. So the amount of evidence was truly a lot. First, let's talk about the service. The service is on, it will be live streamed, and his name is not to be mentioned. This day is about Criscilla, period. And if you missed it before, that was in her wishes for him not to speak or sing. This request is going to be honored. Regarding the children, we still don't know if the kids are going to be able to make it. Regardless, this is their mom, and they are invited and welcome. Now on to the estate and legal progress, and this part is huge. A neutral third party has been hired to work on Criscilla's behalf. And basically their role is to represent her estate, her will, and her wishes.
I love that.
And this is excellent news because someone independent is finally combing through everything. That she knew what she wanted, it was clear and documented, and that she was of sound mind. Here's some additional takeaways from today, which is every lie has now been recorded.
This part.
And this was the best path moving forward so that we could continue to have Criscilla's service and just let a third party that was neutral handle it and let the dust kind of settle. I still struggle to understand how this turned into such an aggressive pursuit of Lindsay and her friends and her mother when they were just trying to do what Criscilla's wishes were. And there is one important thing that I forgot
This is big. This is brace yourselves.
to mention. Todd Chrisley was a dear friend of Criscilla and knew a lot of what was going on during this time. He also has possession of her music. Prior to her passing, he had assured her that he would get his story out with a documentary, so he is moving forward with that. So
A documentary on all of this.
there you have it. We are absolutely calling today a win. There are so many layers to this case and just so many details to unpack. But today mattered because everything presented is public record. Every lie is now recorded and documented. That's why allowing the service and choosing a third party and choosing patience was the right decision today.
Amazing.
So the funeral is tomorrow, and please just pray for this family and for the future of those babies. While he is their only surviving parent, the ongoing turmoil and seriousness of this is deeply concerning. But we are choosing peace, truth, and patience. And we are just trusting that the rest will come to light in time. We also just have a little special message from Criscilla's mom, Rhonda, who wanted to say that she is very grateful that I have been here and supportive and doing this entire journey, and it's just been so loving and supportive of all the information that I've been putting out. So love her so much, and thank you for following along. All right, y'all, here is our
All right. That was a lot. The fact that his alleged lies have now been documented, and they have this third party that is assigned to go in and essentially speak for Criscilla in all of this, I think is absolutely amazing. And I just wonder if that's something that Coffey even thought about in all of this. Well, if I go to court and I say this, and I don't tell the truth, probably not. He doesn't seem like that kind of person, but that's my opinion. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments.
latest update video. I've been seeing just a ton of different questions and concerns in the comments, so I'm just going to start from the very first of my trip, which was the court case, and then we will finish with the funeral.
I did an ombre lip, and I have the products linked. You can click the shopping cart. They're both from MAC.
I am seeing comments being made about how we weren't all at the courthouse, and there is some truth to this. The original plan is exactly what I said in my video. It was supposed to be at 9:30 that day. We had 6 people ready to testify and over 20 with their affidavits ready to go on public record. So the people that are saying that we weren't ready to testify are completely lying.
Can you imagine in all of this, there's 6 people that come to testify and 20 affidavits? Oh, that's amazing.
We had multiple people from out of state, out of city that drove in for this. We were all there ready to testify. And it's important to note that anything that we would have testified to would have also been on public record. Keeping this in mind, decisions had been made the night before that we would not be going to the trial the next day. So the only people that were technically at the courthouse that morning, due to a last minute change, was Coffey with his attorney and his security guard
Security guard. I can't.
and Lindsay's attorney. This was so that we could continue on with the service, and this is how they came to the agreement of what I talked about in my last video, where there would be a neutral third party taking over the case for Criscilla. It's also public record that there was a restraining order filed between Coffey to Lindsay. There have been some rumors that this is why Coffey was not at the funeral service, because he apparently had a restraining order on him, which is not the truth. You can see on the court records that he filed the temporary restraining order on her, but it wasn't her physically. It wasn't about them being in the same room. It was about the property that Criscilla had and that Lindsay was in possession of, which was her laptop and her phone.
And it says here at the top, and her ashes. Now, where do you think people are getting the idea that he couldn't attend because he had a restraining order on him? Where do you think that speculation is coming from? Right. Right. Okay. We got it.
That's the only thing that the restraining order had anything to do with, were the devices that Lindsay ended up turning over to the third party so that they can then give them out as they see necessary. Since we already had all of these people in town ready to go to testify, instead of having to be at the courthouse, we went and did a brunch. Some of the people at this brunch included me, Criscilla's mother, person that notarized the will, and some of her closest friends. So to claim that we weren't ready is an absolute insane lie when there's literally photo proof that we were all there, ready to go, and went to brunch because we were not needed at the courthouse.
Now, here's the thing. The level of precision that Cherry Nicole has told these stories and showed the receipts. I think the first video was 20 stories that I put into one video just like this so I can get the word out. The level of precision is amazing. So to sit here and think that somebody is saying, oh, they're not ready, they weren't prepared, knowing the type of content and information that she has shared with precision, wild take.
And here is one of the pictures following the brunch that day.
Love it.
Now let's move on to the funeral details. A lot of y'all have been asking if the kids or Coffey showed up, and no, they did not. The kids were not there, and neither was Coffey.
Awful.
But a ton of y'all did show up, and we had around 500 people for this beautiful celebration. They did have the okay to do the live stream, but there ended up having some issues with that. And so it is posted on my Instagram stories at the moment of almost the full ceremony, and then on Lindsay's page as well. The entire ceremony was absolutely beautiful and done to a T the way that Criscilla wanted it done. And even though her kids were not in attendance, she made sure that that whole service focused around them and how much love she has for them. She even went as far as to ask people to write letters to give them at a later date so that they know about their mom and experiences and all the different relationships and people that she touched, and to just write them in a letter so that they could enjoy it later.
That's amazing.
There's honestly still a lot just going on behind the scenes, and as I am able to give y'all updates, I absolutely will. I'm not sure when the next court date is going to be or what's going to happen, but I am fully supportive and will be here every step of the way for whatever anyone needs from me regarding that. I think it's also important to think about why this entire case is even going on, which the primary focus is Criscilla's.
Where was this comment? Oh my God, that's amazing.
Devices, her cell phone and her laptop. So why is he going so hard to get these devices is the question you need to be asking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and lastly, there has been mention of a private family service. There was no private family service. This service had her mom and her sister speaking at it. This was the service for that. So there is no other private family service other than the one that just happened on the 10th. Thank you to everyone that showed up to that beautiful service. Thank you to everybody that came up to me and supported this whole journey of sharing her truth. And I will continue to do so as soon as I have the next update. Thank you for watching.
It's so interesting to me how, God, she looks stunning here. It's interesting to me how the narrative that is being spun online is so different than the reality that Cherry Nicole is there in person experiencing. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. I just find it really fascinating, the attempted spin on it. And this particular clip, I did voice isolating, so you might hear bits of music in the background. Copyright, you know.
All right, y'all, I'm going to talk about something that I find very concerning. And I want to be very clear that this is about transparency. There is a charity event happening on the 17th being promoted to help with the victims of the Pacific Palisades fires. The charity is called the Mission Project. When I saw that the lineup had Coffey Anderson emceeing and headlining it, I respectfully raised concern and awareness given his current public reputation and current actions. I didn't harass anyone. I didn't threaten anyone. I simply asked questions and raised concern over on my Instagram stories. Shortly after that, I was blocked by the charity itself and Eric Rock, who seems to run it. And what's even more concerning is that anyone else who went over and shared their concerns in the comments or DMs or emailed him also got blocked. Whoa. And if this is a good charity doing good work, then why block people that have questions and are raising concerns? Right. Why not address these concerns publicly? Why wouldn't you reassure your donors and the community, especially when the base package is going for $750? Wow. Now, I'm not saying that this charity is fraudulent, but what I am saying is blocking concerned voices, especially for an event that is based around a tragedy, seems to be like a red flag that deserves some attention. Transparency builds trust, while blocking just erodes it, especially when real victims and donors are involved. Mm-hmm. If you are planning on donating or attending, I would just encourage you to do your research and ask questions and make sure that these values are aligned with yours.
Wow, this is wild. Now, there is an update, so, I'm not going to say, hey, we should reach out to this organization. That it's already been handled. This is just the next wave of information I wanted to share with you guys. So this is a comment where somebody was saying no coffee, and somebody, it looks like this is Eric Rock, the person that runs the organization, commented with laughing emojis, to which somebody responded and said, "Why are you laughing?" And then sorry, the media you were viewing is no longer available. So maybe they were blocked, maybe it was removed. These are all just showing that he's deleting and at the time was blocking people from commenting. I didn't realize they were moving so quickly. I would have slowed that down. My apologies.
All right, y'all, I need to clear some things up because the public story,
the updates on that are coming, just FYI.
That's going around right now is not matching the record. First, let's just address that Criscilla's mom is alive and well. She's literally in the brunch photo with me from just a few days ago in pink. So I'm not sure where you're getting your screenshots from, but she is very much alive. Okay, now let's touch on the cremation again. Yes, Coffey Anderson did pay for the cremation. But what did he not do? Ooh. An obituary.
Oh,
not one. So
you mean to tell me Coffey is alleging that him and Criscilla were working things out in the last few months, but he didn't put out an obituary for his wife that he was fixing things with? Seems a little odd to me.
Stop pretending that he handled everything. He did not. Now I'm about to get a little more serious. On September 30th, he went under oath and told the court that Lindsay stole her ashes. Even though in Criscilla's will, which I will show, it says right here that it explicitly.
Let's see if we can get a closer look at this. Probably not. But this is a shot of her will.
States that Lindsay is to obtain these ashes, create keepsakes for the children, and give the remaining to Rhonda. That's not my opinion. That's not Lindsay's interpretation. It's black and white.
From her will.
Days before court, he texted Lindsay that he was going to honor the will, and I'll show you that too. This is from Coffey to.
The cremation has been paid. You go get the ashes. I have the will, and I have honored what C has asked for. Give the ashes to Rhonda and make sure my kids get some. Then go your way and leave us and me alone forever. Why are you so mad, Coffey? What? Wow.
Lindsay. So then explain this to me like I'm 5. If you knew Lindsay had the ashes like the will said that she would, why did you claim to the court that they were gone? Now let's address some stuff with.
I am kind of confused because she said September 30th. Criscilla didn't pass until September 4th. So I don't know if she got the dates confused or if I'm just not understanding the date in this particular story. I'm not sure.
Funeral, because this also matters. The funeral was not paid for by him, not one penny. Criscilla had specifically requested that thousands of dollars from their joint account be used for this funeral, but that money was under his control and none of it was used. Lindsay and her friends paid for the entire thing, every single bit of it. Lindsay followed Criscilla's wishes to a T. So when you hear rewritten stories and accusations, now you have the documents and the proof, and truth matters. All right, y'all.
Pre-planning, maybe. Maybe, yeah.
I have a very important update about the charity that we've been discussing.
Here's the charity update.
The Mission Project did reach out to me earlier today, and we have been in contact discussing the situation. And I do just want to start by saying that they are a smaller team, and they were absolutely overwhelmed by all of the DMs and emails that y'all sent in to them. And I'm so grateful that all of y'all took the time to let them know your concerns. They also said because of the overwhelming response, it's something like they've never gotten before, they did end up just turning off everything and blocking just so that they could take a breath and look at the situation.
I think that's weird. I think if you're being overwhelmed, turning comments off, turning story replies off, okay, take a breath, figure things out. But to go as far as blocking people that are trying to, in my opinion, talk some sense into who you are platforming at your charity, I find that a weird strategy. I find that to be a weird strategy. Maybe it's just me.
What's amazing is that they did take all of our concerns very seriously. After reviewing everything and hearing the story on all of our concerns, they did make the decision to take Coffey Anderson out of the lineup to not associate with this cause.
That is an amazing win. So the community comes together and they say, hey, you shouldn't be platforming this guy. Here's why. And they actually listen and remove him under whether Coffey decided to pull out of the event or they said, no, we're going to pass, no, thank you. I don't know. But wow, that is amazing. That is a major win.
They acknowledged that once they became fully aware of how big and serious this situation was, that he just did not align with their cause. I am honestly so grateful that they acted accordingly. I think this is an amazing step. And I honestly just want to say thank you to each and every one of y'all that spoke up respectively and voiced these concerns. This is really what it looks like when people come together and advocate for accountability. I also just want to say a big shout out to the Mission Project for taking the time to learn about the situation and then making the correct choice moving forward. Taking the time to learn the truth and course correct absolutely matters, and I'm very supportive. So this is your reminder that speaking up does make a difference, especially when it's done thoughtfully and with integrity. I could not have predicted a better outcome, and I am just so grateful that we were able to come together on this. Thank
Very
you
cool.
so much to each and every one of y'all, and especially to the Mission Project for hearing us out. All right, y'all, I just want to start this video by saying,
I'm going to turn this down a little bit because the sound is odd. I think in some of these she's using like AirPods or something. So this one's a little tingy, if you will. So I apologize for that. I'm going to turn her down a little bit.
you cannot preach financial security while ignoring financial harm.
This is, I think, one of the most important stories that she shares. So hang tight.
That being said, Coffey Anderson is scheduled to perform in Allen, Texas this week, the 22nd through the 25th. He is part of the National Agents Alliance Convention. So I went and did some digging on their website, and I was a little shocked to find this. This is a company that publicly stands for leadership, integrity, and trust. But most importantly, it stands for financial security. Let me tell you exactly why this matters.
Cool.
One of the many things that I've been fighting for with Criscilla's story is how she was undergoing all of the stress, cancer treatments on her literal last dying days, weeks, months, going through financial abuse because of him. In case you've missed it, I'll include these screenshots from her at the end of this video. And I want to be very clear that this isn't about cancel culture. I'm not attacking anyone. This is about alignment and who's aligning who with their brand and what they stand for, given their actions. When an organization built its brand on protecting people's trust, futures, and finances, having someone associated with financial harm represent that message is an absolute contradiction. Leadership should reflect ethical behavior behind closed doors, not just on stage. If you agree, I would encourage you to reach out to the National Agents Alliance and voice your opinions and let them know your thoughts. Leadership isn't just what you preach, it's what you practice when no one's watching.
Did she say the 22nd through the 25th? Because I think that's happening tomorrow. There's the phone number if you want to call them and let them know how you feel about this. But I'm pretty sure she said the 22nd through the 25th, which is tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. So, do what you do. Let's contact this company and let them know how we feel about this. I think that's important. Okay, these are the text messages. And these came from Criscilla. And it says, I was bawling this morning because my kids couldn't even get lunch from school. I hate that. Oh my gosh, like all the extra trauma on top of everything is just so unnecessary. Like, y'all have already been through so much. I'm so sorry, girl. I'm going to keep your notifications on emergencies so they always come through. Criscilla says, the way he's making them suffer, I was at my end, Teresa. Teresa is Cherry Nicole's real name. I was literally about to spill it. My attorney said, we have such a good case on him for both of us to wait until after Tuesday. Here's another one. Is everything okay? This is from Cherry Nicole. Is everything okay? You got me all worried. Girl, I was not okay. I was talked off a ledge today. I was in the negative $300 as bills were going through, and I was about to tell you to release anything you wanted. I was about to go live. I announced I was going live, and he put $3,000, I'm assuming, in her account. Oh, wow. Did you end up getting it all figured out and him send it to you? I would have done it too. Don't tempt me with a good time. I can't wait to. Also, side note, we could do lives together too. That's so sad. And this is from September. This is a screenshot of Criscilla's bank account with $88.94 in it. $122.66 in her account. Current situation after paying bills. I asked him this AM to transfer money so I can pay water bill, pool bill, and gardener. Nothing yet. $26.64. She says still nothing. And I think that's the end of the updates. Those are the updates that I have for you based on this horrific situation. I definitely think we should contact that organization that is having the event, that is platforming Coffey starting tomorrow through the 25th. I think this is a perfect example. You can't platform somebody that the organization is all about leadership and financial responsibility, if you will, and then platform somebody that was doing this allegedly to his estranged wife before she passed from cancer. It's absurd to me. It is absurd to me. So those are the updates. I know that this was a lot. And if you haven't seen the first live stream, you probably were lost at points. I would highly suggest you going into the live stream, the first one, which I have linked in the video description, and watch that so you can get the full updates. This is important for us to talk about. And I know that it's not necessarily my normal type of content, but this is about accountability. This is about telling Criscilla's story. This is about attempting to right wrongs and to hold Coffey Anderson and any other people that are doing things like this, holding them accountable. It's extremely important. Even though it's difficult to talk about, we have to talk about it. So anyways, that wraps up tonight's live stream. And so weird to watch that 8-year-old video of Coffey and Mel Robbins and remembering that I was at that event and how none of that aged well. None of it. But here's the thing. When you put the public persona that Coffey was performing, in my opinion, next to Mel Robbins, back then, right alongside, the recent court documentation that we are seeing, the timelines, the receipts that Cherry Nicole and other people have been sharing, the contrast I feel like is impossible to ignore. And this is why I always say that timelines matter, context matters, and documentation absolutely matters. Watching that clip now versus 8 years ago feels like seeing two completely different stories. The performance and then the reality once the receipts came out. If you haven't watched my full Mel Robbins deep dive from Monday, definitely suggest you checking that out. It adds even more context to the Mel side of this conversation and explains why some of what she said in the first video that we watched doesn't really match the timeline that she presents today. Consider this stream a companion piece, if you will, to that deep dive and to the first Coffey Anderson live stream where I was sharing all of this. Anyways, before we wrap up, we are going to be having a members only after party right after this. It will redirect if you're a member. I'll see you over there. If you'd like to become a member, the replay will be available or whatnot. Shout out to the replay crew. And again, no pressure at all. But if you'd like to hang out, if you'd like to ask questions or just chat a little bit more, I'd love to see you over there. The join button is right below the video if becoming a member is something that you're interested in. And as always, if you have something that you want me to see, a Zoom, a video, a post, a whatever, aaronbees.com, and that link is in the video description as well. You can submit whatever you would like. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for caring about accountability and transparency. And again, shout out to the replay crew. If you have not already liked and subscribed, if you would do that, that would be amazing. And I'll see you on the next video, which, by the way, is going to be a Scentsy video. Yep. So that'll be out on Friday for everybody at the time of this live stream, and it'll be available for members on Thursday. Okay. Thanks for being here. Members, I'll see you in the after party. Bye, everybody.